Hello, Virgo. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For the main part of the read, I'm using the Gendron Tarot. I know it's here somewhere. By Melanie Gendron. Website is usgamesinc.com, which I know the website's still there. I don't know if this deck is on there, though. Supportive Oracle cards. Energy Oracle cards by Sandran Taylor. Websites. They're all Hay House websites. Here's if you want to freeze frame, if I can move my fingers out of the way. Feel free to freeze frame and check out what you want. There's also a Hay House radio on the back here with Sandra's pictures, so feel free to freeze frame and check out whatever you would like. Virgo. The energy feels very calm. Which is very, I just did a couple fire signs and it was not. So the fact that we're already tuning into your energy and it's very calm, I like this. It's nice, but it feels very specific to the reading. Fair warning, crazy cat. Crazy cat running all over the place. 8 of Cups. Do I need to... do I want to give up on something? Do I not want to give up on something? 5 of Cups, 8 of Cups. And then you got the 10 of Cups in question. Is this really good enough to hold on to? You also have the 5 of Cups is what you're dealing with. Like, the other, it feels like it's the other person. Now, this could be business, because I'm getting a lot of energy, like earth energy here. But for some of you, it'll be business. Others of you, it will definitely be romance. Of course, there's other ways that this could hit, but I'm getting those two most. Is somebody giving up or not seeing the value going forward? Something like that. I almost feel like it's somebody you've known a long time. And the way things used to be, it seems like we can't go back and we can't recapture that. The thing is, we can do things to, like, look at the past. What did we like about the past? And, like, what maybe we can find similar things with similar energy. Like, I feel like people do this when they look back, like, if they've been together, like, 20 years. And they look at each other like, well, we don't look like the people we looked like before. No, maybe not. And maybe it's not about that, though. What type of things did you do back 20 years ago that you don't do now? What could we actually bring in again and actually bring forward that we haven't in the last 20 years, or we kind of let go of? It made me more about the behaviors rather than this hard and fast what it was, especially if it's like a job thing. And it might not be 20 years. Maybe it's 3-4 years. I don't know. It doesn't have to be like 20 years. It could be 3-4 years. But what has changed about the job that isn't the same, but we'd like to bring back, and what can we mirror in maybe a different way? It seems like you and the other person may have more of a maybe the best times are behind us energy. I don't feel like it has to be that way, but we need to have some creativity come into this. We do need to have some creativity. You do have the possibility of victory here for you, but, like, how do we get to it? Because I feel like we can reignite this, whatever it is. And it could be business, just to be fair. Virgo tends to be quite practical. So it's kind of like looking at things like, is that a reality? Could that really be there? Let's just do some dice here to find out. Like, what do we need to do to make the 10 of Cups reappear in Virgo's life? That's Earth. The Knight of Earth. So slow and steady wins the race, but making steps towards it, actively moving towards it. Virgo, once you get on the path, you're good at staying the path. And let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. The challenge is starting the path sometimes. Not staying on the path, but starting out on the path. Getting yourself to just start. That could be the challenge all in itself. Let me know. Because I'm also getting the 12, which is the Hanged Man, and it's like we're not moving. So maybe it's just this subject, maybe it's just this subject moving forward, starting on the path. That's the challenge. It's kind of like, if it's going to be a long trip, actually getting myself to get out there and start the trip and believing like I really want to do this. It's kind of like it's a really good thing. I really like it if it could happen, but do I really want to start the process? Part of that may be because I don't believe in the outcome, in the sense of like I don't believe it's like a surefire thing it's going to work out. It seems like it's kind of a gamble to even try. It may feel like that. 12. The Hanged Man, like, I really feel like it's either kind of like you need to choose a path. You need to choose a path. Where you are is not working. It's kind of like, let's try to make this work, or let's try to make something else work. Like, let's choose something. If we just sit here and stagnate, it's kind of like stagnant water. It's going to rot. It's going to stink. It's not going to be good. So we need to choose a path. And I feel like you might be kind of on board with that for those of you who this is really hitting for, because you got the Eight of Cups. Do I want to keep what I have that I already like, or do I want to try for something else? I don't read the. I don't read it. I really don't read any card the same way every time, I guess you could say, because sometimes people look at this kind of like leaving something good for something better. I don't know if I feel that way about this. It's kind of like, which is better? I'm questioning what I have versus what else I could have. And I feel like it's kind of like, all right, whatever. It could be good either way. For a lot of you, I feel like it's good either way as long as you make a choice. If you sit here, that's nasty. That's not going to work. But if I throw something out and go for something better, you could get something good. If you keep what you have and work on it, that could be something good. But if you just stagnate and you don't move towards either, it's like we have to actively make what we have better, or actively choose something else and walk away from what we have. You got to choose a path. Great. Either way, you're doing great. If you just stagnate here and don't make a choice, if you do the default thing, I'm going to default to no choice. It's still a choice, by the way. I think most of you guys know that. Like, even if you default to no choice, that's still choosing to not choose. You still made a choice. You've chosen to let it just rot, and that's not really good for you either. If this reading is hitting for you, of course, I realize that. Yeah, because you got what it takes to move it forward. I feel like you might have to take a minute, but you might want to give yourself a time limit. For a lot of you, if this is really hitting, and you're like, well, I'm not just going to jump up and start doing something right this moment. I need to make a decision, and I need to think it out. Give yourself a time limit of a month. I would even say if you really want to make sure that this does not end up stagnating by default, give yourself a month, but like phone reminders are my personal friend. So like if you know a certain time every week that you have time to yourself, maybe it's Friday night, maybe it's Monday morning, maybe it's Tuesday evening, whatever it may be, set yourself a reminder for the next 4 weeks. How far am I? How far am I in this? Like, so it just pops up on your phone. How far am I in this subject? How far am I by this point? And by the fourth and final one, you're like, I need to make a decision, or I'm going to default to failure. Just make that note for yourself, especially with the fourth one. I need to make a decision now, or I'm going to default to failure. So what am I going to do? Because Virgo doesn't choose failure. Earth signs don't choose failure. And if you remind yourself, if I default, I will fail, I feel like you'll push some way. Especially if you have this, like every week you force yourself to think about it, you'll move in one direction or another. I'm not saying even after the fourth and final one that you're going to make big jumps and leaps and bounds towards a goal, but you'll have decided to move at least in one direction or not. Where did that come from? You. Oh, okay. Cat is like standing on the grate, so his fur is getting fluffed up, and now I got little furs going everywhere. Disgusting. It's not fun. Anyway, where are we going with this? I see success here. That's the weird thing. Only if you choose. You can take your time choosing as long as you're forcing yourself to think about it. Does that make sense? There's another sign I'm thinking of that goes in circles and it can what is it called? could do analysis by paralysis. Like they just keep thinking of different angles, different ways, different angles, different ways, and they just never make a choice. And by never really making a choice, they miss out on their success. Making a choice is extremely important. Seriously. Okay. Just I feel like if especially you give yourself these timelines, give yourself a month, once a week, just force yourself to sit down and think about it. I feel like you'll be fine. I don't think that'll be that difficult. You can take your time doing it. And then once you've decided what you're going to do, you'll start opening that door and you'll go towards it. I don't even think it'll be that hard. But I feel like it's just like holding yourself accountable to at least make those small steps forward. It doesn't feel like it's that hard. It does feel like it makes me nervous because it's like, all right, if I'm choosing something, then I'm committing to it and then I'm investing in success. Because you're not going to move forward unless you can think you can make it work out. It's just kind of like you got to choose one way or the other, whichever way you think is more successful for you, and then start working towards it. I see a lot of analyzing. But whatever you're walking away from, or possibly walking away from, I should say, if you create conversations with that person, if it's a person, of course, if it's like a job or something, if you start researching in that job where this job could work better for you, you might be surprised at the opportunities that are there. So if it's a person, I would recommend talking with that person. If it's a situation like a job, try researching what this job, what other possibilities you have at this situation. For example, if it's a job where it's a corporation and you're like, maybe I'm kind of done with this position or the people around me, but are there other positions in this company? Are there other possibilities in this company? What else would you have to do to get these possibilities? Stuff like that. If it's a person, finding out, do they even want to try? Do they want to try? And if they do, what ideas do they have? You might be surprised because I'm getting the Lover's card coming forward with the King of Swords. So if it's a person or a situation that can give back to you in some sense, you might be surprised at what actually is in front of you. It may be something that you've been kind of holding back on, kind of like you kind of had this inkling like maybe you should find out, but you're kind of nervous that you're going to find out that the cupboard's bare, in a sense, or something like that, or something worse. Or like maybe you're dealing with a person, but you're like, maybe they have ideas, but you're afraid all their ideas are going to be work that you have to do, not work that they want to do. And it's going to be like, that's going to sink the ship. But at least if you find out that information, you'll know what to do. Just because somebody has ideas doesn't mean you have to move forward on their ideas if you don't like their ideas. I'm just saying research the ideas to see what's really there in front of you. Whatever the situation is, especially if it's a person, I feel like the thought has already started on their side about what needs to happen and trying to work out if this is really going to work. You coming forward with interest really changes the game. Because I feel like no matter what way you choose, keep it or walk away from it, especially if it's a person, if you both decide, let's go our separate ways, I feel like they might be more cooperative and this could actually be a peaceful ending. If it's a business, usually I don't think the business will want to let you go, just to be fair. But if they realize that you're considering, or you're not happy, if they realize you're not happy, they may work to try to find a way to keep you happy, because usually Virgos are very good workers and businesses usually want to keep them. So they might try to find a way to like keep their asset. They're considering you an asset. So they might be more willing to work with you to keep you happy so that they can keep you working with them. Yeah, the success, I feel like it's once you've moved in a direction, once you've chosen your direction, I do feel like you'll do what you need to do. Because I get the Six of Pentacles, you just got to work out what's right for you. Then you'll commit to it, and once you've committed to it, you'll find your success. I don't really see it being a bad thing, because you got the King of Cups with this victory coming forward from you. Whichever way you decide is best for you, you're not going to get involved in something if you're not going to get success from it. And you're going to be like, I'm going to be damn sure to do everything I can do to make this be a successful moment. And you will. You're also, I feel like I keep walking away from this, but I don't want to. You're going to choose the path that you see the most likely success with. So you got to do your own research. I know that. And if it's better, if the chances are greater for you to have success walking away, I don't see you having a problem with it. You just got to do the research and decide what's better for you. So I feel like none of you will stay unless you see the success being a greater chance of success by staying. Just to be fair, so it's like you're not going to paint yourself into a corner. I don't really feel like that's what's going to happen here. But if you feel the situation is something where the longer you stay with it, the more you feel like you're getting painted into a corner, you may be like, I have to go, and you'll see it, and you'll be like, yeah, I need to go now. The longer I wait, the worse it is. It's just about making your choice. Yeah, but I feel like a lot of you who are coming to this, maybe you're avoiding making the choice, and maybe that's what this reading is about. Like, don't avoid it. Don't avoid it. Make the choice, get your success. By not making your choice, yeah, that doesn't taste so great. All right, anything else? All right, I'm gonna shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below with the same email. Thanks again for watching, and have a great day.